Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about the Texas Indigo snake, also known as Drymarchon melanurus arabenus. Texas indigo snakes, like the other indigo snakes, will get pretty large. They can get to be 8 feet long. They're super cool. A lot of people consider them as kind of an alternative to the eastern indigo snake. In general, they are dark in coloration. They will sometimes kind of have a coppery color modeled in through the top part of their body. They can have kind of a copper colored face, a yellowish orangish throat, but in general it is kind of a dark black snake. They are native to obviously Texas, but then they can go down to Mexico.
Yeah, so their range is, especially in South Texas, they're not uncommon at all. So people that spend any amount of time down in South Texas can find quite a few, especially in the winter months. But then they actually do range down into Mexico. Where they integrate, we're not exactly sure, but we know they go down through Tamaulipas and possibly into Veracruz, and yeah, they have a good range. Tamaulipas is a pretty big state too.
Yeah, even though they're called the Texas indigo snake, really the majority of their range is in Mexico. So either way, they're pretty neat snakes to keep. You would keep them like you would keep any other Drymarchon species. You want to keep their temperature somewhere in the high 70s, low 80s. They don't tolerate a lot of heat. They like to have a lot of fresh water. They drink a lot of water in general. They're large snakes, so they require a larger cage kind of a thing. Even though they can be found in some of the drier parts of Texas and down into Mexico, they do also require a certain amount of humidity. So with all of our Drymarchon species, we provide a humid hide box, which is just a Tupperware bin that's filled with damp sphagnum moss, so they can choose to go in there for either for security or also when they're getting ready to shed to be able to get a little bit of humidity. Diet-wise, they'll eat just about anything.
Yeah. So diet is an important thing with all indigos and Crebos as well. You want to make sure you have a varied diet. That's one of the mistakes a lot of people make. So you want to make sure that they have fish, quail. We feed rodents, but most people think you want to have rodents solely, but you got to have more than rodents. So the other types of protein are very important for their health. If you feed them too many rodents, they'll get obese. They don't live as long. They don't reproduce as well. So you want to give a lot of different types of proteins. It'll show in the animals and their body condition.
And what people don't always realize that the Drymarchon, no matter what it is, indigo, crebo, whatever it is, they will eat just about anything they can get their mouth on in the wild. They're not constrictors. They're not venomous. They just bite, crush, swallow, whatever they can fit in, so it doesn't matter. We're talking about birds, frogs, lizards, snakes, in addition to all the rodents. So people think that you need to feed your snake mice because that's what's readily available in a pet shop and kind of what's commonly done. But you can certainly do it, but you got to mix in the other stuff to be able to be successful with it. So. So this is a clutch of Texas Indigos that just hatched here recently to give you guys an idea of what we do with the babies and when the babies all hatch out. So when they first hatch out, we generally put them all together in one big humid bin like this. We'll put a water cup in there so they can hydrate and get some deep wet substrate, and we'll let them sit in that before their first shed. And once they have their first shed, then it's time to kind of separate them out and put them in individual containers so we can start feeding them and determining if they're males or females and all of that. So it's a nice little clutch of Texas Indigos. Thank you for watching our episode on the Texas Indigo snake. Stay tuned. We'll highlight some other Drymarchon species.
See you next time.